Do you want to know how to make this amazing carrot cake from scratch from a 1990s cookbook recipe? Well, join me and find out all about how to make this. Sneak peek of this delicious tiny sneak peek of the carrot cakes and the cupcakes. Yum, these are so good.
Still the best.
Yeah. So moist.
All right, let's get started on this 1990s cake. It's gonna be so good. It is a family favorite. So first we are going to sift together the dry ingredients and then we'll move on to my trusty mixer over here. In the comments down below, I would love to hear your favorite 1990s memories if you were alive back then. It was high school and college years for me, so some really fun times. We have 2 cups of all-purpose flour here. We're gonna mix all these together. We have 2 teaspoons of baking soda, and all of the ingredients are in the description. All the instructions are down there. And this is some delicious cinnamon, 2 teaspoons here. I can get all that out of there. It's to stick to the bowl. So yes, I went to high school and college during that time. Really, really fun times. And I remember that I would still write letters to people during that time before, you know, texting or a lot of emails and stuff. We have some salt, kosher salt there, just a ½ teaspoon. So now we have all our dry ingredients. While you type in the comments down below what your favorite 90s memories are. Mine were just that it was a slower time and we did more stuff in person, which is really nice. So let's get back to that. All right, so let's go over to the mixer next in just a moment for the other yummy ingredients. So now we are back at the mixer and we're still making our yummy 90s carrot cake. We've got 3 eggs and I'm gonna put in here and we will mix those in a moment. Let's get that started. So let's mix those up, and it might help if I had this plugged in just a moment. Take 2. So we've got our eggs. Let's get those beating for just a moment. That looks about right for now. And we're gonna add some oil. I've got 3/4 cup of vegetable oil right here. This is a cake I make at least twice a year for my husband and also for my dad. They love carrot cake and it's really the best. We're gonna put in some buttermilk, 3/4 cup again. Let's get all that in there. So good. And then we're going to put 2 cups of granulated sugar. Yum. And last but not least, the teaspoon of vanilla extract. Let's get that in there. And I'm gonna get my handy spatula because I don't want to leave behind any of this great buttermilk. Give me a comment down in the comments, a comment in the comments. If you love buttermilk in recipes, I found that if a recipe says buttermilk, it's gonna be a good one. It's nice and moist. Okay. So we have that all mixed up. Now we're gonna come back in just a moment and add all the fun little bits that make a carrot cake the best. So now we are going to add the best parts, in my opinion, all of the delicious items. So of course, 2 cups of shredded carrot, and I used my KitchenAid grater attachment to grate up all these carrots before I got ready to make this cake. So we're gonna get that in there. And what I love about this cake is a lot of cakes kind of skimp out on the adding, or the, not additives, but all the yummy bits. And this one has everything. It has nuts, raisins, coconut, pineapple, of course the carrots, but I feel like it's the best because it has everything in there. We're not skimping on anything. We have pecans going in here. So good. So the original calls for walnuts, but we really prefer pecans, so put whatever chopped nuts you like in there. That's 1 cup. And then a cup of raisins. You can always leave any of these things out if you don't like those kind of things in your carrot cake, but we love all the bits. And 1 8-ounce can of crushed pineapple. It's so yummy. Add that nice moistness in there. 1 word that, well, we usually use it for soup, but we like to say stampkins in our family for all those yummy bits. Usually they go in soups, but also in this cake, it has all those little yummy bits in there. We have 3.5 ounces of coconut. I'm gonna give this a little bit of a stir before we add in our flour. So let me know in the comments down below what you prefer in your carrot cake, if you like carrot cake. And yeah, some people don't want the nuts, don't want the raisins. For me, I'm a huge coconut person, so I've got to have the coconut. But I think they all really meld together well in this recipe. So let me know what your preferences are, if you add something different. I would love to know. So we're just gonna add in our flour mixture here. We're not gonna beat it for too long, just for a little bit on kind of a lower speed here. So yes, I remember in the 90s that since I lived in Mexico for a year, my junior year of high school, I would write a lot of letters. I remember it was kind of the very beginning of email, but we still didn't have that much access to it, so we still wrote a lot of letters, and I still have a nice binder of all those letters. And I've kind of gotten back into letter writing because it's a nice way to connect with people. So I would love to know if you still do that, or if you missed that, or if that wasn't in your time frame. Okay. So now we have our cake mixture ready. We're gonna get our cake pans and our cupcake pans, because we're gonna make a couple different types of shapes here. So we'll be right back. Okay, so we are ready to make some cakes. And we have, so I'm making a bit of a different recipe. Normally this is a 9-inch cake with 2 layers, but I have these 6-inch pans because this is what I'm making for my husband's birthday. And then also some cupcakes. So let's fill up these first. About halfway, more or less. What I like to do to even it out as best I can, without weighing it, is I like to get a 1/2 cup measure or a cup measure, whatever, and use it between the cake pans so that I'm putting an even amount in there. So yes, do you remember, of course in the 90s, well, maybe There were pagers for sure, I remember, because my uncle had one. Did anyone have a pager? I never had one. But it's fun to remember those funny 90s memories. My first cell phone was, I think, 2001. It was one of those Nokia brick phone sort of things. I remember I felt pretty fancy because the outside was kind of a gold color, so very cool. And I remember in college we did some internet searches back on Alta Vista. No Google then, so let me know if you have any memories like that. I still use the library microfiche system to do some research. Still used a lot of just regular books. We had to cite the internet in a very special way on our papers. So it was still very much a paper and book time, although we were using computers more. So I would love to hear if you have any memories of those times. So let me know in the comments down below, yeah, any 90s memories. If you went to college back then or at any time, what you studied. I would love to know. I actually majored in graphic design and Spanish. So a lot of really fun projects and work, a lot of really fun art projects. But in the background, I was always cooking and baking a lot still. So a lot of fun classes. Let me know if you still do the same career you studied or if you do something different. It's always fun to see. So this is getting pretty evened out. I think I'm just gonna put just a tiny bit, maybe a half cup each more. This way they'll be pretty even. And then we're gonna fill up the cupcakes. I'll probably do most of that off camera, and then we'll get ready to make the glaze, which is the magical part of this 90s recipe. Okay, that looks about right. And I'll fill up the cupcakes and then we'll take a little peek when they're gonna be baking, and then let's move on to the glaze. So now we are back and we're gonna make the delicious cake glaze, which is a buttermilk glaze. We're gonna make it here on the stove. So we are going to combine some more delicious buttermilk and some sugar and some other ingredients. So we've got a cup of sugar. We've got a half cup of buttermilk that goes here in our saucepan. We have some baking soda, so a half teaspoon there. And we also have a quarter cup of butter that goes in there, and some corn syrup, just about a tablespoon that I have in here. So that goes in there as well. And we're gonna cook this up. And after we kind of boil it and cook it for about 5 minutes after this is all melted up, then we'll be adding in the vanilla, which is 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So I'm gonna come back in a moment when this is bubbling a little bit more and show you the consistency of this glaze. So I wanted to show you how this glaze looks when it's just about done. It's really foamy and bubbly. And we want to be simmering it like this for about 5 minutes, and then we're gonna take it off the stove and add in the vanilla. So I'll be back when this is done. So I've taken the glaze off the stove, and you can see it's nice and bubbly. I'm just gonna add in the vanilla, which makes it bubble even more. But it has a beautiful color now, and we're gonna let this cool down a little bit on the side while our cakes continue to bake in the oven. And while they continue to bake, we're gonna take a little break and take a look at the 1990s cookbook. So let's take a look at our 1990s cookbook. The last printing for this one says 1998, so still in the 90s. It's Portland's Palate by the Junior League of Portland, Oregon, and this was a gift from my aunt. I don't remember if she gave it for a birthday or something else, but I absolutely love this book. And as you can see, this is the favorite cake recipe, this blue ribbon carrot cake. We actually made a little bundt cakes of this cake for the farmer's market back in the early 2000s when I had a farmer's market stand. And as you can see, I use this so much. Stained pages are the best sign of a great recipe. And it has so many other wonderful recipes in here, not only desserts, but my favorite salad is in here. The pot roast that we love, the pot roast supreme right here. As you can see, we use that one a lot. So many delicious recipes in here. Let me see if I can find my favorite salad. Let me know if you have a favorite 1990s recipe book. There's a lot of treasures in those. Here it is, the spinach salad with basil dressing. Looks like there might even be, oh my goodness, is that like a spinach leaf in there? Wouldn't that be crazy? This one is really good. It has feta cheese, some nuts, red onion, avocado, and a homemade dressing. So good. Anyway, I'm gonna have to do more recipes out of this book, but this cake, you are gonna love it. So let me know in the comments down below what you think of this book, and if you have this book or have any 90s books like it. It's fabulous. So the cupcakes are out of the oven, and since they're still hot, what we're gonna do is brush them with the glaze super generously. You can even pour it on, but I find it's a little less messy to to brush it on. And we're gonna do the same when the small cakes come out. I don't need to show that here because it's the same process, but we want to be super generous with this glaze. There's kind of a little extra since we're not doing as big of a cake. So definitely really soak it in there, and you will see what a beautiful difference it makes as to how moist and just absolutely fabulous these cakes are. Even without frosting, of course you gotta have frosting, the cream cheese frosting, which we're gonna make next. But even without it, the cake is just amazing. So yes, now that you see this glaze, let me know if you do any glazes for your cakes at home in the comments down below. I would love to know your tips and secrets for cakes. But anyway, I'm just gonna add a little more glaze, but I will see you in a moment for the frosting. So we're at the nearly final step of this delicious cake. We're gonna make the cream cheese icing. And after that, then we're going to decorate the cake. It's cooling right now, so I'm gonna give it time to do that. I already creamed together some softened cream cheese and butter. Now I'm doubling the normal icing recipe because I like to have enough of this, and even if you make the 9-inch cake, it's kind of sparse, and I don't like sparse frosting, so we're gonna use it for the filling and the frosting and the decoration, so we wanna have plenty. So we have 2 blocks of softened cream cheese in here, a 1/2 cup of butter, unsalted butter that's also softened, and then I mix that together. And then normally we'd have orange peel and orange juice, but I forgot to buy more oranges and they're all eaten up now. So I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of pineapple juice here because I thought that would be a nice flavor. And then some vanilla. All the amounts will be in the description down below. And then I'm going to add 4 cups of powdered sugar, as carefully as I can here. Let me know if you love frosting. I admit that I love frosting. Some people don't want those corner pieces of the cake, but that's my favorite and I'm sticking to it. Let me know if you love corner pieces, middle pieces. What's your favorite piece of cake? That is really important to know, so please comment on that. And yes, yummy, yummy frosting. Okay, so we're gonna get this mixed up until it's nice and fluffy. We can always add a tiny bit more juice if we need to. But that is looking really nice. Yes, so I might actually add a tiny bit, check it out, that looks good. Tiny bit more powdered sugar to a portion of this because I want it to be pipeable for some piping decorations. So I might take out a tiny bit and add extra to that, but otherwise this looks like a nice spreading consistency and it looks beautiful. So I'll see you when we get ready to decorate. Yay, we are at the final step of our 1990s carrot cake. Look how beautiful this 6-inch cake looks, and it's super moist. I actually refrigerated it overnight to let the flavors meld and make sure it was nice and cool. So we're going to be filling and frosting it with the amazing cream cheese frosting that we made. And as usual, I made kind of a ridiculous amount of frosting. But like I say, I don't want to be skimpy and I don't want to run out. I don't know about you. Do you usually make a lot of frosting or not? Let me know in the comments down below if you make birthday cakes for other people, or if you've never attempted it before. I encourage you to try this recipe for someone in your life if they like carrot cake, or if just you yourself love carrot cake. Because it does take a little time, but it is so worth it because the flavor is just phenomenal. Wait till you'll see in the family tasting. Of course, we have tried this before, but we wanted to try it on camera. And I'm glad I'm decorating this cake today in the morning because I really needed to clean up the kitchen, and we had an event to go to last night. So I had a lot of dishes and scrubbing up to do here. So it feels nice to have everything clean and ready to go. So now that we put a nice thick layer of frosting on the top of this bottom layer, we're gonna put the top layer on, and I always wanna put the bottom of the cake on the top so it's nice and flat, as you can see. So we have a beautiful top layer there. And what I usually do is put a nice thick layer on the top, and then I smooth out the sides. So that's usually how I do it. And I wanted to show you that, oops, I also have this piping bag with the same icing. I just colored it with a little bit of orange food coloring. And I also have this yummy vanilla sugar that I got that I thought I'd decorate with. And then I also have some coconut that I'm hoping to put on the sides. Sometimes I also decorate with bits of marzipan that I put a little food color in, but I could not find any marzipan at the store. And so vanilla sugar and coconut are the winners today. You can also use pieces of pineapple, extra pecans or walnuts. A lot of ways to decorate this cake. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any other ideas to decorate cakes. I usually love, my number one factor in a cake is the flavor. And making sure it's nice and moist. And then number two is the decor. I usually like to go very classic and natural. So you can see I am, sorry you can't see it that well, but I'm going on the sides here. So I'm gonna come back in a few minutes when I have this all frosted around the sides, and then we'll do the pretty parts and decor on the top. Alrighty, we are back and we have our cake all covered, and I'm glad I made tons of frosting, also because I need to frost the cupcakes later. But we are gonna take some coconut. This is sweetened flake coconut, and I just kind of put a ton on the side here, just with my hand, clean hand, and cover all the sides here. Let me know in the comments down below if you like coconut or not. Some people don't care for it because of texture or other things. I absolutely love it. I cannot get enough coconut. Coconut everything, it's so good. But I also understand if it's not for you, but I would love to know. So yeah, I'm gonna cover all the sides here, and then we're gonna put some pretty decorations on top. Let me know in the comments what cake you usually either request or want for your birthday. What's your favorite flavor of cake? I would love to know that. I usually try to change it up every year. Last year I had, actually I'm gonna do a tiny bit on top here. I had a really delicious caramel cake. That was so good. So yeah, usually every year I try to change it up a little, but there are many flavors that I love. Now this is a little messy, but I'm gonna clean that up later. Very easy to clean up. We will kind of get some away from the sides. But yeah, I think that looks cute with a little bit around the edge. That will add to the charm of this. We'll just kind of keep some around the edges. That's totally fine. I'm gonna actually add some more so it looks like it's on purpose. Okay, so we're just gonna do some nice swirls around the edge here. I like to leave little spaces in between. And I really like to use these fabric kind of reusable piping bags. We're not wasting a lot of plastic. So yeah, that looks super cute. Now for the final touch, we're gonna add little bits of vanilla sprinkles. That sort of looks like we're putting pepper on the cake. I hope that doesn't look too strange, but it's gonna taste really good. Okay. All right. Yay, looks so good. Here's the birthday cake. All right, I hope you enjoyed that, and stay tuned for the family tasting. If you have not subscribed yet, please do for more vintage and nostalgic baking and cooking recipes on Tuesdays and Fridays. Sometimes on another day, but I'll announce that in the community tab. So thank you so much, and see you for the family tasting.
We got the family here to try the 90s carrot cake. Yum.
Got it. This is the one I've had before, right?
Oh yes, it's the family favorite.
Still the best.
Yeah. So moist.
Yum. I think it's the moistness and the
I'm
flavor.
approved.
Thank you. It's
Best-
really the best.
Best carrot cake of all.
Check out the yummy frosting. Delicious. Thanks for watching, guys.